My first stop is the Weeksville Heritage Center to learn about one of the earliest communities of African American homeowners in Brooklyn. Hi there.
Hi.
I'm Zephyr.
I'm Megan, going as you.
Well, I'm excited to learn a lot today. Tell me what we're going to be learning about.
You are going to learn so much. Weeksville is an African American community, a free community that was formed 11 years after the abolition of slavery in New York State, which was in 1827, which makes Weeksville founding in 1838. So we're going to learn more about James Weeks and more about the families that lived in these houses.
Terrific. Can we go in?
Absolutely. I got the keys right here. We can head on over.
If Brooklyn contains the largest contiguous group of Black homeowners in the Western Hemisphere, then to find out why, we need to start off in a tiny historic enclave that became one of the cornerstones of the foundation of the Brooklyn culture we see today. Learning the history of Weeksville will help make sense of how the home ownership phenomenon evolved, particularly in Bedford-Stuyvesant. So, who are you? What's your relationship to Weeksville?
So I am the 5th of July, the 5th of July Resource Center Manager for Self-Determination and Freedom. Mm-hmm. So our 5th of July Resource Center documents this free, emancipated African American community. So there is a large amount of scholarship and information about slavery in the United States, and there's a large amount of scholarship and body of information around civil rights. But oftentimes that era and those areas of history right in between, there are not a lot of tangible living histories of that story. So we at Weeksville and through the Resource Center are very proud to support and to interpret emancipation-based histories, not just Weeksville, but of course nationally.
And you're the archivist.
I'm the archivist, yes.
So what does that mean?
So it means a lot of great things. I essentially get to interact with every level of information that tells this story.
So I'm trying to imagine 1830s Brooklyn.
Yes.
And is it rural with little towns?
It's so very rural, very agrarian, very farm-like, very isolated. Mm-hmm. There were, of course, no paved roads at this time. All dirt, people traveled by foot, people traveled by horses, and people were farmers, essentially. Where these homes were built and why they were preserved is because they sat on Hunterfly Road, which eventually became an alley. It was, established when the city grid was built in the 1880s. It laid off of the city grid, and for that reason, it was glossed over during the era of urban renewal. More specifically during Lyndon B. Johnson's administration, the Model Cities Project, which is one of the initiatives that built the Kingsborough housing, as well as a community called Weeksville Gardens.
How is Weeksville developed?
The height of the community was actually during the 1850s. There were 525 individuals that lived in those boundaries.
In homes?
In homes.
That they themselves owned?
Exactly.
So that's an incredible source of power, I imagine,
Absolutely.
in the 1850s.
Absolutely.
And going forward.
Absolutely.
So is James Weeks responding to a flyer in the Brooklyn Eagle saying buy land in the hamlet of Bedford?
He absolutely did. It was being sold by another African-American man, Henry C. Thompson, who was a bootblacker, and he purchased the property from him. But James Weeks was actually the only person that owned property that actually lived in Weeksville. Many of the others bought property here but lived elsewhere with their families.
It was basically forgotten and merged
into Bedford-Stuyvesant.
So how do we know about it now, or was it rediscovered, or?
It was rediscovered. So the homes were always here. So if you lived in this community, you knew about the homes. They were those homes in the alley. And many people, if you approach the set of homes from Bergen Street, it literally looked like a driveway. There was a gate right on the street, and you wouldn't know that there were a set of homes with such a dynamic history down that alley. Weeksville appeared in one textbook. And it was used as a text for a community survey course, actually, at Pratt, led by a historian. His name was James Hurley, and he introduced it to his class. And just at that moment, there was a New York Times article on these homes saying that somehow there were a set of homes that sat on an alley, the alley being off of the city grid, which is even more of a reason that they were glossed over during this era of demolition, but they were set to be demolished. They asked model cities if you would just give us some time to research this community. We're studying it in this course. We understand that, yes, these homes were part of that community, and if you demolish them, you will demolish the last standing remnants of it. Give us a moment to do some research, and please do not tear down those houses, essentially. The model cities replied, and they were actually very open to allowing a moment of investigation for James Hurley and his students. They were able to successfully recover evidence. They went and petitioned to New York City landmarks, and the homes were declared landmarks, so they couldn't be torn down. We have a beautiful, amazing building that was just completed in 2013. We had our ribbon cutting ceremony, so let's head over to our contemporary side and we can visit the contemporary Weeksville story.
Okay, great.
Okay.
This tour of the Weeksville houses was fascinating. It was like walking into a time machine to see these homes preserved exactly as they were when people lived in them in the early 1900s. The rest of the museum is fantastic as well. You should definitely check out the Weeksville Heritage Center next time you're in Bed-Stuy.